Hey, yo, what's going on? This is your boy Glenn Lawrence, and I am here for the NEW, and we are talking about Raised by Wolves. I am joined with my main man, Kuya P. What's happening?
Yo,
And of course, the Asian king of comedy, Lloyd Lee, fresh off Asian Privilege. What's good, man?
what's going on, man? Good to have you join this cluster of review.
Yeah, because we were like, with 1 and 2, so you know.
Listen, so I heard from both of y'all that you did not enjoy episodes 1 and 2 as much as I did. I really like this series. I'm digging it. Maybe it's because for me, Ridley Scott, and then just the concept of like where we're going, dystopian future. You know, atheists versus people who are believers and religious. I thought it was a really interesting concept, and I was kind of digging everything that they did, and it was kind of cool to see how all the technology has evolved and what we did. I was really digging it. So y'all already talked about episodes 1 and 2.
Yep, and how much we hated it.
And how much you hated it.
It was whack, but continue.
I'll just quickly recap. I loved it. I liked episode 1 and 2. So go back and watch the review and remember they're wrong. No, I'm joking. You guys didn't like it for all your reasons, but let's get into episode 3 and 4. Episode 3 of Raised by Wolves. The third episode kind of centers around how mother and father are getting along with these kids and learning to, I guess, raise children. There's so many funny things that I was thinking while watching this film. Number one is interracial couples will save us all. That was the first thing that
I could see how you would draw that line. Yep, I get it. I mean, father was a little bit of a simp, but whatever.
But yeah, it was an interesting episode 3. Let's get into episode 3 a little bit. Did you guys like it, first of all?
No.
Okay.
It was the same thing again. You didn't learn the lesson the first time when you had all these kids. They all died and passed away. Now you have a whole nother set of kids, and now they're starting to get sick. Like,
yeah, like
come on.
you're fucking up, son. Like you are a problem.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting how basically they're just kind of dropping off slowly, one by one. And I guess like some of the kids we know that they died, but then some of them is like one of them, Tally. You're just like, oh wait, did she actually? Like, what happened? We don't see.
She's the only one that died of being a child. The other ones were like, hey, I'm being poisoned. Like this can't be good.
I thought it was interesting though how it was like yo, you're a terrible father. What are you doing? Why are you leaving these kids alone?
Like, do you realize that? Well, I mean, in theory, there's nothing else. The only thing that they could do is literally fall into a pit. Like that's the only thing that could happen to them.
Yeah.
I think the issue is like you go to a planet where you only have a single food source. Like you don't have another source of food. Is that horrible planning?
You could tell it was a rush job because, you know, like the dude, whoever sent the androids up to the planet, and it's like, oh yeah, you didn't think that you're gonna have these embryos, but they're probably gonna need to eat something. Like they're androids. Why didn't you make fat androids? Why didn't you send fat androids so that they could like cut off parts of their body and feed it to the children?
Well, the fact that they didn't even like plan on like, hey, maybe we should wake the androids up to land this ship in a hostile territory.
Right.
They're like, hey, I guess we're awake now and we're hanging over a cliff.
Yeah. So that was all interesting. And then
I think that's my issue with like the whole series is everything just seems to be like just like it takes me out of the realm of disbelief.
Well, I mean, I feel like, you know, because in the story, basically, the atheists only have that android and then the embryos, right? So it was kind of a rush job to get to Kepler before all the Mithraic. Like it was a rush job to get to the planet before they did, so they could settle and rebuild life or whatever. So speaking of the Mithraic, the stowaways, or the what would you call them, the face shifters, I guess you would.
Ragnar.
Ragnar. That's all I can think of when I see him. I'm like, from Vikings. I'm just like, he's playing the same character as in Vikings.
Literally.
It's like
Literally same character.
Yeah.
He's
His
going to
name's
another
Marcus,
world to
by the
conquer
way.
it.
yeah, it's Space
Marcus.
Ragnar.
Marcus
Ragnar
and
with a
Sue.
mullet.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he had the same haircut. Anyway, so they're finding out how hard it is to parent as well. But luckily, the previous parents were terrible, so they just kind of fell into a good spot. We're like, oh, all we have to do is acknowledge you, and we're good parents. Dope.
Like-
This is easy.
You're a horrible parent when the people that aren't parents, that don't even want to be parents, are like better than you by accident.
The people who killed you, who took your lives, are like, oh, we could live your life better. Like we're living your life better than you are. So it was very interesting seeing their interaction and how they kind of endeared themselves, and how some of that, I guess, not having all of that tradition with the religion and everything, allow them to be a little bit more freer spirits. And even some of the people who were supposed to be like, I guess, the elders or the clergymen were like, oh, it's very good. Like we've stopped fighting. We don't need to be as rough around the edges as we used to be. I thought that was very interesting. What do you guys think?
Which means that even in this dystopian future, they haven't figured out PTSD, a cure for it.
But they said they did. They were like, yo, we got something for that. And I keep thinking, because he keeps saying, oh, you're feeling sad, we have something for that. I'm like, well, nigga, pull it out. I'm sorry, excuse my language. It's been years, and we're sitting here bored. If you got some good drugs, give them to us.
Why would you need good drugs when you could just plug into a simulation? Like, let's do that.
That was pretty cool too. But
what I thought was weird about the simulation was that you're basically in bed for 14 years, right? Your brain's working, and then you just automatically, like, you can walk and talk and run with no learning curve.
yeah, like your limbs don't atrophy, or you don't like have to reacclimate yourself. But I think the other thing that would be weird is if you're in that virtual world, you probably can push yourself a little bit further than you can in the real world. So when you wake up, and you start running, you're gonna be like, yo, why is this so difficult? Like what is happening?
Why can't I keep my eyes open? Is this sleep? I don't know.
Like basically, yeah, you don't need to. I mean, what would that world be like in a virtual world? Do you ever sleep? You're just constantly on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it bothered me that that nobody grew. 14 years and the kid is still a kid. That would piss me off.
Well,
it was wild.
Yeah, I mean, and also, like we could go start talking about all the religious zealots and how they live or whatever.
I'm curious because there's like 3 different storylines within this particular episode. With the first, like, checking out this audio real quick, the mother and father and the children now being raised in one scene in one part, and then there's also another storyline where we finally get to introduce more characters on the arc. And there's that leader character who wasn't really much of a leader, and we come to find out when we get into the 4th episode later. And then the 3rd, where we journey back in time 13 years. What did you guys think of these additional new characters that they brought in to further the story?
Law, you want to go first, or
yeah. So the religious leader made sense, right? I mean, they portrayed him exactly the way that they wanted to portray him. But the thing that bothered me the most was that when they know exactly what the necromancer, what Mother can do, like they've seen it, like she is a straight stone cold murderer, gangster shit, like without a solution. And when the new parents, Marcus and whatever her name is,
Sue.
they're like, and Sue, Marcus and Sue, they're like, hey, we gotta go save those kids. And the religious leader's like, that's a horrible idea. I'm with him on that. It's like, did you not see what you just did?
Yeah.
Right. But I thought it was very interesting how he tried to use, just like the what you call it, the oh wait, I think I'm jumping ahead, but I just like how he tried to use, like, oh, Soul would never want us to do this, and it's like, how do you combat that where you keep invoking some other entity that is not there and saying that Soul does not want you to drink that, Loy, and it's like you got to play along and figure out, like,
Soul provides.
Yeah,
Soul provides for those who provide for themselves.
Yeah, it's so interesting how they, that dynamic there of these non-believers faking like believers and trying to use the belief against them, but then the actual believers are also faking to use their beliefs against them. It's just interesting, and I think the whole dynamic will probably upset a lot of people.
Sounds like religion to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it touches on a lot of points. I mean, I love the way that this series kind of throws that together, because we are kind of on diverging paths where some people believe in science and there's some people who believe in religion. Oddly enough, I feel like sometimes religion holds back science, and you're kind of seeing that now, considering like the Mithraic, they took so much longer to get to Kepler than it did for the atheists, or the people who believe strictly in science, to get there. They were able to get there much quicker because they weren't held back by all these beliefs in religion and tradition.
So overall, episode thoughts.
Episode 3, I thought was great. I thought it set up a lot of things that are going to happen in later episodes. I did jump ahead and started watching ahead because I was so engrossed in the movies in the show. So I don't want to give anything away or have any spoilers here, but I think episode 3 set up a lot of things. You see a lot of the different, I guess, friction between mother and father starting to build. Also, the friction between Ambrose and the other dude, but Marcus, yeah. You see the friction there. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I think it set up great for episode 4, which we can talk about now if you guys would like.
No. We'll be that in another episode. They'll get that in another episode.
Okay, I thought we were doing 3 or 4 today, but that's cool.
You're wrong.
I'll keep it at 3.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong.
What about you, Lloyd, for this episode, man?
How do I hated it. I still hate it. I watched ahead just so I could just put myself out of this misery and try to get to the end of the series, but it's or the season. Hated it. There's nothing about it that makes me want to continue watching it.
And for me, I'm the little boy at the end, the son, I don't know the little boy's name of Marcus and Sue. Well, the adopted son of Marcus and Sue.
Peter?
I'm the one. Is that the kid's name?
Yeah, we'll call him Peter now. Marcus, Peter, and Sue.
I'm Peter because I recall the ending was Peter hugging the tree at the end before Mother saves him.
Yes.
So that's me. I was confused. I didn't know what to do, and now I find myself on the tree. That is exactly how I feel about this.
I'm like Tally. I'm just going headlong into this. Let's just put myself out of the misery. Yeah, let me just.
Oh man, it was. You know what? Other thing that I was thinking, who programmed these androids? Why did they have so much emotion? Like, where did their emotions stop? Like, whoever programmed them is pretty incredible. Like, you probably need to have that guy on your payroll. Who did it?
Campion.
Yeah. What?
No,
yeah.
I'm talking. No, the. Well, I guess you guys.
No, not the kid.
No, the androids, mother and father. Who programmed them?
Campion, a guy that we have not met because she. She named Campion after her creator.
Oh, do you think the narrator? Do you think the creator's name was actually Champion and she just couldn't read the spelling? Because Campion's a real weird name.
Well, like when you type really fast, and especially words you type all the time, you fuck it up because you type it too fast. Yeah, his name's Champion.
Yeah.
Champion.
So let's sign off so they can.
Wait, time out. I just want to say one more thing. Here's the last thing because I really like this. Listen,
he loves this show.
I like the show.
We're struggling, Lloyd.
I know you guys are struggling with it.
I'm so happy that he's here because I could give a dick. Now that he's here, I'm like, one of us cares.
But the last thing that maybe this is jumping ahead because this is just episode 3. Never mind. I'll leave
Save it for episode 4.
I'll save it.
All right, so let's sign off. Let them check out the other episode that will drop soon for episode 4 that we're gonna recap. Glenn, tell them how they can find you. Online,
Glenn Lawrence Comedy. You could also find me at Level Up Comedy on all your socials. Glenn Lawrence Comedy on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. And then also Level Up Comedy on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all that good stuff. So check me out there. Look forward to connecting with you other nerds.
All right, Lloyd
Lee Comedy, LOYLEE Comedy across all your social media websites. My album Asian Privilege is on YouTube. It's free, but it's also on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, name it. If you stream music from there, I'm on there. Asian Privilege.
Yeah. Lloyd, have you been working out? I see you trying to flex, showing the biceps over there. What's going on, bro? What's going on, bro?
Because it's for me lifting and carrying this whole show. Like this is.
All right, so shout out to these two sexy beasts. I am Kuya P, the Nerds of Color, NRW, Nerds Rule the World. We'll do episode 4 recap for you very soon, so stay tuned to the channel after you click and get done with this episode 3. As always, we bring it to you. Yeah, you can follow me on socials. My shit's on the screen right now. You see it. Stay tuned again for the Show Pal Show as well. My new episode dropping, a new podcast with the Nerds of Color. We got a lot of stuff coming for you. We out of here. We gonna go hit Glenn in the head and tell him why Raised by Wolves sucks. We out of here.
We'll be right back.